refugees to come out. And I think that there needs to be some leadership being taken from some countries or a group of countries to focus on to these areas that are there to help people right in their own country to stop the refugee flow and just develop themselves and develop their. Is there anything going on like that, or that you know of? Or?
Nothing that immediately comes to mind in terms of any kind of concerted, cohesive effort. I don't know if any of you guys have comments or things to add to that, but right, I think on an ideal level, you are correct that if you could kind of deal with the issue in place, and that is like a civil war or genocide or environmental issues, I mean, those are huge things to tackle, but
the refugee is a huge
yes.
tackle. I mean, it's a drain on all countries.
Right.
It just doesn't. It seems that they're not addressing or they're not looking at the root of the problem. I guess is what it is to help these people. As people have said that staying within a community or having their own community, I don't understand some of the.
Yeah, and I will agree that no one really wants to pick up and move. I think the first option for everybody that anyone would choose, and I, speaking for myself, and I heard you guys think about, your choices as well, like, it would obviously be to stay where you know the culture and the people and the language and the land and the food and everything like that, right? And not have to pick up and move. Yeah, it's a good point. In the back, and then.
I'm a former refugee resettlement agent here in Concord.
Let me give you the.
I am a former refugee resettlement agent here in Concord and in Chester. And I will say that when we invite our newcomers in, having a balance and an infrastructure, and a lot of things have to be in place, obviously, to settle and create a new life. It can be done. I've seen successful integration, most certainly. And the successful stories are those that community, interfaith support, volunteers, so truly a village. That is what I've found with all of the interviews and being in touch with families. So there is a piece to it where there has to be a balance. Clearly, I'm finding this film, probably as we all are, very overwhelming and extremely emotional. But I think, as mentioned before, the influx is too great. Other societies literally cannot hold them up. It's a really tough situation. I even conquered, trying to find work and find, and degrees. We had medical doctors were trying to now find work, and they are no longer able to practice. So there's so many complications, and if you think about the one human being with all their needs, it's a tremendous, as I said, it really takes a village to lift them up. And that was, I feel grateful I was part of that process, and I've seen amazing stories and lives and hope, and certainly with the next generation. It's been incredible. So it's beautiful, and the thing is that, again, I can't really say enough the balance, because a society needs to welcome, never forget the humanity, and yeah, so there's a lot there. Thank you.
Two things. One is that I think we've done a pretty good job in New Hampshire of bringing and welcoming in both immigrants and refugees. But only less than 1% of refugees are ever resettled in a third country. Most stay in the refugee camps, or maybe a few get resettled in the country that they've escaped to. But less than 1% are even an issue of resettlement. And our country takes much less than our share. I believe we were asked to take 65,000, 110, yeah. And, well, he was agreeing to that. Anyway, the UN will ask us from time to time to take a certain number, and we don't. And I think that's something that we can do something about here. And the second thing I just wanted to mention is the impact of the mental health issues on the people, the children, the young adults in those communities will go on generation after generation. And it's just it's like throwing a pebble in water and having those circles go out. So that's really, it's really concerning.
Right, the resettlement process does not just stop when they are provided with an apartment and sends a few months worth of support.
No, or stay in a camp forever.
Right.
I'm talking about the children, made me think about this country and some of the things that have been happening at our borders. And if you think about all those kids running around that camp, and think about all those people that at our border have lost their children. I mean, what does that say about our country? Sometimes have a little shame to be an American, because I mean, these are people, these are children. And it was happening before anybody knew. There's too many things happening down there that we have no idea. And it's, I'll use the term, sad.
Yeah, one of the things that I was first very struck by with this film was that it was very Europe focused, which I really appreciated and liked, probably because we are inundated, if you're all interested in any of this, by our own border and border issues. And so it took me away from that a little bit, but also, just like you said, allowed me to kind of reflect back on what we were seeing in the news and what we see through social media and online, and just, you're absolutely right, the many connections that we can draw. And shame is one emotion, certainly, but I like to think that if more people saw this type of film and were able to kind of talk through it, it's a call almost to action, or to talk more about it, or to share the realities, I guess, of what's going on. Yes, that's great. Yes. Good. Okay, I've had one request to get back to the movie. Yeah. Does anyone have any last comments, questions there?